that we're over. Said we finally took the mask off. My mommy told me that we shouldn't worry. Daddy told me just a good story. He said to move on and keep going. Imagine we had one more life, one more shot at sunrise. Erase everything, start with new eyes. Don't break the same tragic goodbyes. Wanna dance one nightstand. Not to reminisce, just a reminder to never go back to a life we shared. Anytime I'm feeling the urge to look at a picture, oh, I get so confused. 'Cause I swear I am so over you. My mommy told me that we shouldn't worry. Daddy told me just a good story. He said to move on and keep going. Imagine we had one more life, one more shot at sunrise. Erase everything, start with new eyes.
Alien remains found in Mexico, hackers shutting down hotels in Vegas, and buns are in the oven. There's a lot to talk about. Today is September 14th, 2023, and you're listening to episode 352 of the PHP IDE podcast. We'd like to thank a few people who's helped make podcasts a little better. Our sponsors, honeybadger.io, PhpStorm, and PHP Architect, as well as our wonderful supporters on Patreon. And we're going to circle back around and talk about all of them a little later. But for now, let me introduce to you the aliens in my casket, John Congdon.
I have so many questions, but I want to say great job on that starting soon page. I like it.
Tom, right up.
Hello.
Tom, you're in sunny Southern California.
I am sunny Southern California. I thought that when I got here, and apparently I'm wrong. It's not Southern California. It's north southern, northern southern, central.
Yeah, it's the very north of the southern part of the state.
Yes, yeah.
Which most people just call it north, but
it's north of central. It's north of southern. It's north of north central.
Where you at,
the southernmost end of north.
What are you doing?
Oh, working on site, doing meetings, and celebrating company anniversaries, things like that.
What anniversary is it?
10th anniversary. Which for a .com, yes. Which for a .com is very impressive. And my first anniversary, it has been 1 year since I started at this company.
Wow, really?
Has it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a quick year. So surprised they haven't fired you yet.
Hey, I'm just grateful.
As much as we petitioned for it.
I know. As much as we begged and pleaded.
They don't listen to you guys.
Obviously.
What about you, John? What are you up to?
Oh, what are we not up to? There's so much going on. I'm sure we'll talk a lot about tech coming up. Working on ripping out an old API that is in use in a project, which is still running on, I think, 5.4. It's no longer necessary. It was built, 12, 13 years ago at least, to be a central hub for multi environments to connect to a single database. No longer necessary. Everything's been moved into AWS, and through magic of networking and stuff, we don't have the same concerns. So working hard on that. So that's been fun.
Cool.
How about you? What's going on?
I don't know. It's all just a blur right now. I feel like I'm getting a lot done every day, and then I look at everything else I have to do. I'm like, good God, man, I'm so far behind. It's
buried
crazy.
Alive in work, right?
Yeah, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop at all. Yeah, I mean, not a lot. I need to get back on the coding bandwagon. I've just been doing like a bunch of administrative stuff, I feel like, lately, and
project management.
Things.
Not project management.
You should try it out. It's fun.
More like project don't crash. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I got to get coding, man. I've got things I got to get done that I haven't been able to put the focus towards that I like to put towards it, but I'll get there. I'm sure things will slow down a lot for me as we get closer to tech.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Free up a lot of time. Yeah, sure. So aliens in Mexico. What? Anybody see this?
No, I was questioning that in your hookers comment. I was very confused.
Hookers?
Hence me saying I have so many questions.
Hookers.
Did I talk about hookers?
No.
I thought you did.
Don't think so.
What did you say in the opening?
What did you projecting a little?
Just a tad.
What did you say in the opening?
I
was
said
very
Vegas.
confused.
I said Vegas. Tom or John heard hookers. What's that say about John? He just associates hookers to Vegas.
Hey, you mean hackers in Vegas taking down hotels? Is that what
is that what you said? Hackers?
Hackers.
Yeah.
Hackers in Vegas. Yep.
I had no clue what you're talking about. I was already confused with the aliens, and my mind started drifting. And then you said hackers in Vegas, and wow, I was questioning it so much I wrote it down. What did you mean by it?
All right, aliens in Mexico. Tom, you've got to know something about this. This seems right up your alley.
It's a super old hoax, and the reason it's making the news at all is because it's absolutely ridiculous that the Mexican government gave this thing a platform whatsoever.
This is what I'm wondering. Is like, are they in on the joke? Are they just like trying to troll the world now?
Is Mexico in on the joke? I have no idea, but it seems like it. These are these paper mache mummies that people have been making for decades that just look like paper mache dummies. I mean, from the land of piñatas, you'd think they'd be able to spot one, but no.
Well, that's like I almost opened with what was I gonna say? Mexican aliens, but then I'm like, nah, I probably shouldn't say that. I should think about how I word that, especially where we're at. So, oh yeah, I saw that on Twitter, and I'm like, what the hell is going on today? Like, I just need to go back to bed if I'm waking up to this. But yeah. So yeah, John, hackers in Vegas shut down the MGM hotel.
Really?
Yep. They apparently.
I didn't see this one.
Oh, you didn't see this one? Oh, I actually have it on my Trello board, so I kind of jumped the gun a little bit there. But let me move this over so it kind of gets. I don't even have Trello open yet. Here we go. Yeah. So apparently, they compromised the entire floor in of the MGM, and like they just the MGM just basically, my understanding of it, which comes from a whole 20 seconds of YouTube watching, was they had to shut everything down. Now the weird thing about it is, was DEF CON recently?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago. I think it was at the MGM, wasn't it?
That I don't know.
I don't know either, but it was in Vegas, so it was around that area. So it's just weird that happened so soon after DEF CON, but yeah, we're not going to point any fingers there. So yeah, that was a whole thing. I put that in the show notes for later. We can talk about.
Honestly, hookers shutting down an entire floor of the MGM would be much more interesting of a story.
And then what else did I say? Buns in the oven. Yeah.
Now that I don't know what you're talking about.
So
I saw something come across from the Primeagen, but I didn't watch it.
Exactly. This is why I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to let Tom know that the Primeagen has already covered this, but I guess in the JavaScript world, they've kind of built this whole new tool chain
that
covers, called Bun, and it's just like, that's all I heard from like every YouTube channel I watch, all my Twitter feeds. Everybody was talking about Bun. So I don't know. I mean, again, not as somebody who's not a JavaScript person, I hope this works. I'm kind of torn on it because I don't understand two things. I don't understand their business model, because this is a company. This isn't like open source, but is it open source? So I don't understand like the politics behind Bun quite yet, and I don't care enough about JavaScript to care to look, but it'd be nice if it does fix a lot of stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell.
I'm gonna take a look at it. I saw him cover it and knew it was JavaScript from, I think, his title or something. I was like, I'll watch it later, and never got back to it.
Yeah, like I said, I couldn't get away from it. Like, all my YouTube channels were talking about it for some reason. I guess it's a big deal, man. Bun.js, yeah.
That, or you're more of a JavaScript person than you thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it looks interesting. There's been a lot of this sort of bundled behavior stuff going on lately.
So is this supposed to replace Vite or Vite or?
I don't think. I don't know. I don't even know what the hell Vite is still.
So this is a runtime for JavaScript and TypeScript that includes a test runner and package manager and all sorts of other bundled things. A bundler, test runner, Node.js compatible package manager, TypeScript and JavaScript runtime.
Yep.
Rhymes with feet. Got it, Haywoods.
I tried running it on a couple projects. I mean, I don't know what to look at to understand what it's like. What's it supposed to be doing? And like, is it faster? Which I don't really care about because I do my npm install, and I don't care how long it really takes to do it.
It's not like apparently very fast.
But why? But I guess if you are a JavaScript developer, like if you do Node stuff, I'm sure it's a huge deal. It's just not for me that much. Oh, there's some graphics for you right there.
I think if you're doing a lot of Vue stuff, probably. Like I know for the application I work on, the npm install and building of all the assets and everything takes forever.
Oh, really? Here's your Vite, John. Yeah, it does. It does look like it's a replacement for Vite as well.
Vite. Vite rhymes with feet.
Yeah. Vite. I don't think that's the same thing. So, yeah.
It was gonna have me saying that from now on.
Vite rhymes with feet.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it appears like it does a lot. I think it's, but again, I think it's like they're hiring. There you go. I mean, it's a company. What are they hiring? A runtime engineer. What's a runtime engineer do? Interesting. Anybody looking for a job to be a runtime engineer? So what's their business model then? Like they're just doing consulting for all this stuff? Like how they plan on making money?
Probably SLAs.
Yeah. Well, that would do it. So wait, I saw didn't I see a GitHub link? Yeah, here we go. So here's a GitHub link. So there's Bun. So it's got to be what's the license here? Where the license at now?
They have a separate page for their licenses, and it's all MIT open source stuff. And I believe this is MIT licensed as well.
All right. Well, cool then. I mean that if that's the case, that's great because then even if the company goes away, you don't have to worry about the product going away. So, anyways, I thought it was interesting. We don't talk about enough JavaScript stuff on here, and
we talk about the exact correct amount of JavaScript stuff. There's an interesting similar take from Nginx as well. Did you see Nginx Unit?
What's it called?
Nginx Unit.
Unit? No. Look this up here. Are you going to keep talking about it, or is that all you were just going to say?
He had to sneeze.
Allow me to stop sneezing. So I'm not 100% clear on everything that this is doing, but it's an application runtime for multiple languages simultaneously with a built-in routing engine and request handling So it can do sort of what you would normally need 5 or whatever services to do as a single service with a single config file that's JSON compatible and has a full REST API for configuration in real time. So you can do real-time modifications to your routing and your runtime without having to restart anything.
Really?
So I'm curious.
But how often are you changing your Nginx runtime?
So you can have dynamic routing. This actually handles load balancing stuff as well. So you can load balance between multiple Nginx Unit servers, and that's all configured through a REST API. So interesting stuff.
Suppose you have saved a PHP script, hello world, to run it on Unit with the Unit PHP module installed. That's interesting. You have to install a module again. It's taking us back to Apache, right? First set up a application object. What? Wait, I'm confused. First set up an application object. Let's store our first config snippet in the code. Snippet in the file called config JSON. Wait, I'm confused. Is this? Are you? I don't understand what this is saying. Then is this the configuration for like the hello world? Like this would be the website layer and.
Right, that would be your routing, and it routes to an engine type as well as an endpoint. So you can have routes that point to
different engines,
node modules, or PHP, or WebAssembly, which they're really keen on. I don't know why, but it's an all-in-one handler for web requests, basically.
Well, I have that now. It's called Nginx.
Well, but Nginx on its own doesn't do the load balancing, doesn't do multiple engines, and the way that we in PHP use Nginx is through PHP FPM.
Right.
This has its own module.
But I don't know that. I don't know that's good. Right? Is that good? I don't know that's good. That's why one of the things I didn't like about Apache.
I don't know. I didn't write it.
Okay. I don't see the load balancing part you're talking about, but I don't question you. It's fine. But man, yeah, I'm sure somebody smarter than I will figure out good use for that. Oh yeah, man. Cool.
It's saying that support for PHP is using a custom SAPI module.
But why? I don't understand why.
Well, because it also handles Ruby, Python, Perl, Java, JavaScript, Go, WebAssembly, and binary compiled stuff.
But why wouldn't it just pass it off to the PHP FPM like Nginx does now?
Because FPM can't do the routing and load balancing that this can do.
Yeah, but
also because they want
in the config
this
file.
is an all-in-one solution. If you're running PHP FPM, you also have to be running Nginx. Whereas if you're running this, you don't need FPM. It's just one less thing that's running. And you can't configure FPM in real time.
What do you configure in FPM? You don't configure anything. It's just
memory, timeouts,
number of processes.
Yeah, processes.
That's not a real world example.
That's DevOps stuff. That's not our world.
I just turn it all the way to 11 and let it roll, baby.
Well, sometimes it's nice to have one interface for all of the things that you need, like error reporting and logging, warnings, things like that. You could understand.
No, tell me more.
Because we're sponsored by a company that does such a thing.
What?
They do unified interface for real-time logging of JavaScript and PHP errors, notification.
Folks, Tom Rideout here, and let me tell you, if you think listening to PHP Ugly makes you question my coding skills, you should see my actual code. It's why honeybadger.io and I are such a perfect match, like peanut butter and jelly, or me and questionable life decisions. Listen, I don't need more pie charts to tell me how badly I've messed up. I don't want to go through a library of logs, deciphering them like they're the Da Vinci Code of my own failures. What I need is Honeybadger, the only monitoring tool that says, "Hey Tom, you goofed up right here, and here's how to unfudge it." You see, Honeybadger is the cool professor who tells you where you went wrong, but also helps you get an A in the course. It tells you not just when the sky is falling, but which clouds are actually plummeting, so you can fix errors before your customers even have a chance to mock you on Twitter. And the setup? Oh boy, even I could get it running in less than 5 minutes, and I still struggle to set my microwave clock. So be your team's knight in shining armor. Go on a free trial with Honeybadger at honeybadger.io. Trust me, it's like having a sensei, but for code and a lot less yelling. See what catastrophes you've been missing and fix them before you become the catastrophe. That's honeybadger.io. Get on it. Now let's get back to getting ugly.
Let's get back to getting ugly.
Thanks, Honeybadger.
The Da Vinci Code. You're a
The
funny
best
guy.
ad read you've done yet.
Thank you.
Very
It's
happy.
the only one I've done.
I feel like I'm trying to pull teeth here. What's going on with you guys? You guys don't want to be here tonight. We can wrap this up.
What?
We can end it.
What are you
Let's finish
talking
it.
about? Are
You know,
you trying
we
to segue
do.
into another ad that I don't know about?
We do seriously need to have a conversation about at least one show a month changing our start time so that our listeners in other places of the world can watch us live. I see a lot of tweets about that, especially from Europe. And
I started an hour early this time.
Good job.
is that why you almost didn't make it? You didn't realize? Oh yeah, the clock changed, didn't it?
No, I am exhausted. These on-site weeks are just rough. I mean, they do a lot to make it nice, but it can be pretty rough. Today was puppy day. They brought about 10 puppies into the office, and everyone got to play with puppies. So that was fun.
Now I see why it's so rough.
Every day's
Yeah.
puppy day here.
Rough.
That was the thing that got me. It was very nice to see puppies, but it immediately made me miss my puppy at home. And like a literal puppy who, when I call my wife, starts running around the house looking for me.
Yeah, I'm hoping to miss my dog at some point. I don't know. She drives me crazy more than anything else.
How about in 6 weeks?
Why would I miss my dog in 6 weeks?
Oh, are you bringing your dog to Texas with you?
Absolutely not. I'm just saying I'm not going to miss her.
There you go.
What's in Texas? Longhorn?
Eric and I will be at Longhorn in about 6 weeks, and then we're going to do a little road trip after that.
You have a
We
booth
are
set up?
actually going. Yeah, we're doing a booth in Longhorn. We're doing PHP Architect is one of the sponsors of Longhorn, so we'll definitely be doing that whole thing. But yeah, John and I are actually going on a road trip afterwards. It's going to be weird.
It is.
Come on over to Colorado. Visit me.
No.
Okay. Just I thought I'd throw it out there,
Nice try.
I'm actually can't get John to come to Menifee to my new house. You think he's going to go to Colorado to see you? He probably would.
I don't know.
Actually.
You're going
Just
to
to piss me
Texas.
off.
Texas is just south of Colorado, isn't it? I said that just for you, Eric.
I know you did. That's why I didn't. I was going to give you a reaction, but I couldn't stop
Couldn't help it.
laughing.
I'm actually gonna go have lunch with a semi-listener. I think he said he's only listened to a couple of episodes, but somebody reached out to PHP Architect, said he's going to be in the San Diego area. I'm like, hey, why don't we meet up for lunch? His name is Jameson, and I can't pronounce his Twitter handle. Aethrid OD Auth, AETHRID OD Auth. He wanted me to put it out there. I don't know why. That's his professional outlet, I guess he said, and he might write for the magazine, Eric.
Well, that'd be nice.
I'm gonna talk to him a little bit more about that tomorrow.
Cool.
You've got a healthy list of people who might write for the magazine.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a list of people that will write. Tom.
I'm very tired.
You've been saying you're going to write for how long now?
It's been a year.
Yeah, I don't know. I got mixed emotions about Longhorn. Not Longhorn itself. I don't know, Austin, I guess, just in general. But I didn't like. So we traveled for tech, which obviously it was just, I had nothing on my mind but everything that we were doing at tech. So I might have been a little oblivious to things around me. But when I went to Laracon in Nashville, I realized I didn't like traveling that much again. I'm like, wait a minute, are we all still sick or something? Should we all be in this room together? I don't think we should all be in this room together. But I don't know. We'll go. Have fun.
Yeah. Hot new COVID shots just dropped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can get
that.
You can get the new one now.
I should get the booster before I go. I think I'll do that. That's a good idea, Tom.
It's most of the ads here in Silicon Valley are, for some reason, COVID boosters and 4imprint, the marketing on stuff company.
Oh yeah, that's right. NorCal kid who was just down here visiting went back home and popped positive for COVID.
Oh, that's fun.
Way to go, NorCal kid.
I test every morning.
But they didn't leave any behind for you, right?
I don't know.
Kids these days, selfish.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Oh, yeah.
So tech, what have we been doing for that?
So we got to talk about tech. We sold our first ticket. Dun, dun, dun. Not only did we sell our first ticket, but it was a supporter on Patreon who bought it.
Was it Frank?
I can neither confirm or deny. I could totally deny it wasn't Frank. But that was fun. It's actually funner than I'm letting on to just yet. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, especially this first ticket. Remember, I said that this ticket was purchased to this week, and it was our first ticket because it's going to come back as we get closer to tech with some interesting news. But yeah, that was fun. We got talks streaming. What are our submissions up to on session?
I think about 60.
60 submissions on session. Very cool.
Sessionize. We need more though. If you want to speak at tech, just go to tech.phparch.com, click on speakers, and submit your ideas for presentation. We're always looking not only for the established speakers that have been speaking forever. New speakers are very welcome at tech. We're just looking for great ideas. Things you want to talk about, things that you want to learn.
Not only are they welcome, new speakers are encouraged because I like getting new speakers out. It's always a pleasure, especially ones who enjoy themselves.
That's often been a thing at tech, is the new speakers, like getting new people in the pipeline to, try out talking and giving presentations. I did it back in like 2012 and I was terrified, but it's definitely a rewarding experience. I will say that.
And now you get invited all over the world to speak. Oh, wait. Don't.
I have to turn them down because I don't travel outside of the US.
No? Yeah, you can't get through Interpol? They're still looking for you?
It's a vegan thing, I think.
No, that would get me to go to England. Oh my goodness, it's the place to be.
Really?
We are over 60 submissions so far, and I don't feel like we've been really pushing it very hard. So we need to really
ramp that up. Yeah. I'm at so PHP Tech TV. I'm still working on a rebuild of that in Symfony, which I got some questions. If I have any Symfony listeners with us tonight in our Discord, which we haven't even brought up yet, if you want to be a part of the show, you can join us in our Discord channel at discord.phpugly.com. And just pop in there, suggest titles, all that. I've been trying to see if Symfony has anything that is kind of equivalent to Laravel Vue components, not Livewire components. Vue components, which are just a step down from Livewire components. I see like I'm aware of like Twig extensions and Twig macros, but that doesn't seem like it's the same. Like, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something where it's a component that I can go to a controller, fire off some code, and render that component, and then utilize that component on other places of the website. So if any Symfony people out there, and Stimulus, that's the other thing I get a lot about, hey, look at Stimulus, which, again, I just don't know if that's really what I'm looking for, unless I'm not understanding Stimulus. But if
Hotwire's not what you're looking for.
Well, see, now we're starting to get into in Stimulus as well. We're kind of getting into the whole Livewire replacement, which is great. I'll take a look at that. Same thing we talked about HTMX the other day, and maybe that's the route I end up going. But I was just looking for something like very simple, like I said, a Vue component replacement where I can just fire off code and have it render. I think Hotwire and Stimulus, I think those are all a little bit more complex than that. Is it Hotwire? I don't remember it being called Hotwire. Now you have me looking it up.
Yeah, I just saw it listed in the State of Laravel survey.
Oh, yeah?
Oh boy. Boy, do I have comments.
Oh, yeah. An efficient combo of quickly developed complex applications. Yeah, I don't know, Tom. Maybe I need to take a look at this one again. I've been looking at so many different things, but even that's not Symfony, though, is it? Like, Symfony doesn't do Hotwire. That's just another like community package, right? Or you probably don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Twig is extensible, so it binds into Twig. You can add all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, and Twig's not going to do it for me because by that time, any code would have already executed. I need code to execute and be able to pass stuff to Twig. So I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it. Hotwire, I'll take another look at Hotwire and see. But the issue I'm having now is we're getting a lot of requests for PHP Tech.tv. Good requests, like things like we should have known to do before we, or after the conference when we were uploading all the videos. The one I got today, I think, or yesterday, and on our support in our support queue was that somebody wanted to purchase the virtual pass, which we're still selling for PHP Tech 23, but they had no way of understanding or no visibility to what talks were available, like what videos they were going to get, what talks they were going to get. I'm like, God damn, that's a good point. You don't have it. So I'm starting to think, okay, I think I need to address a few things in the current Laravel build of PHP Tech TV, but not totally abandon my Symfony rebuild, because I'm enjoying the rebuild in Symfony and everything I'm learning doing it. But
you realize you don't have to release the Symfony rebuild, right? It could just be your learning process, and then not actually release it and just keep the current one.
Yeah, you don't have to show us everything you make.
I do though, and I got to make sure you understand how I made it. You know how I made it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, Tom, I used an IDE.
Thanks to JetBrains and PhpStorm for partnering with us. PhpStorm is a cutting-edge IDE tailored for PHP and web developers. Whether you're a newcomer or it's just been a hot minute since your last dive in, there's never been a better time to revisit. With a slick, clean new UI, blazing speed enhancements, and a richer toolkit, it's transforming the way we code. It's time to start coding like a professional. Visit jetbrains.com/PhpStorm and kick off your 30-day free trial. Code smarter, not harder.
Thank you,
PhpStorm. Thank you, PhpStorm. That one sounded a lot faker than mine did.
Yeah, because I can't pronounce words.
Oh man. Yeah. So I saw Ben mentioned Twig components. That's different than very different than Vue components. But yeah, I'll take a look at your Symfony UX Turbo. I see this mentioned a lot. So I think I will probably dive into that a little bit. I feel like I had something to talk about with PhpStorm. Oh yeah. Okay, so I realize we're all PHP developers. Believe it or not, some of us actually do code in other languages from time to time. And one of the other languages that have really been taken over. Well, first thing, I'm sure everybody understands that PhpStorm is brought to us by a company called JetBrains, who have IDEs for a ton of things out there, including things for C, Python. I mean, just about everything. But they didn't have an IDE for Rust. And I guess they are beta testing out Rust Rover to kind of get the whole IDE game going with Rust. So all the power to them. I don't know if I'm going to do it. My Rust interest has definitely declined over the last few months, but I was really interested in it for a while. But
what was making you interested in it, and why has it declined?
What was making me, just because it was supposed to be this replacement for all of this old C code. Like, it was supposed to be a better way of building applications. And so I've been wanting to I figured if I got into it early enough, and get my head around it, I could actually, build things with it. I kind of stopped because within the Rust community, there's a lot of weird things happening that I'm having trouble following or caring about.
There's a lot of drama in Rust.
Yeah, and so it just seems like the direction of Rust just seems a little uncertain. They seem to manage Rust with the Rust brand with a very heavy hand, and so I'm just like, this isn't feeling good. to me anymore. I'm not that interested. So I just kind of backed away and stopped looking into it so much.
Well, it could be worse. You could be a Unity developer.
Why would that be worse?
Isn't that a game in gaming?
Yeah, so Unity came out this week with possibly the worst take on pricing ever imagined. They announced that they're going to be charging developers. So they had a system in place where once you reached 200,000 unit sales, then you had to upgrade to the pro version of Unity, and it gave you some extra stuff. But the new pricing scheme is a charge per install, sometimes in the area of 20 cents per install.
I love this statement. We have never made a public statement before. That is how badly we fucked up.
Yeah, it's been a huge problem, and to the point where large companies are pulling their Unity-based games off of Steam, and questions about whether or not you will get charged if someone pirates your game and installs it actually came to yes, you would still get charged. So they said they would, if you had a piracy problem, they would work with you, which means no, they wouldn't. Every game has a piracy problem. I can't imagine how they would enforce anything correctly. But
what's their incentive to work with you if they're going to charge you? You'd think they'd encourage piracy. It's like, don't pay the developer, just use the game. They'll have to pay us. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, and they came out and said that for stuff like Xbox Game Pass, which is like an immediate 24 million installs on anything that's on Game Pass, that Microsoft and Sony would be covering the cost for that. And no one from Microsoft has come out and said, yeah, that makes sense. Like, because it doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, it's a huge clusterfuck. I don't know what they were thinking, but that's the current status of Unity. Is everyone is jumping ship as fast as possible, to the extent that they're even pulling their existing products off the store.
Yeah,
one of the things is
the Lamb. Buy Cult of the Lamb now, because we're deleting it January 1st.
Yes. So
that's crazy.
It is really, it's such a dumb move, and they're going to have to roll it back. But somebody's going to get fired.
We need a service that we can just change our terms of service that quickly and all of a sudden make millions. Eric, what are we doing wrong here?
What am I supposed to be running an ad? No. Okay. Woo. John, we're doing so many things wrong, but people are learning from our mistakes, so it's all good, I guess.
You know who's doing something right?
Who's that?
Opera.
Opera the browser?
Opera the browser.
Holy smokes! I
see them advertised by YouTubers all the time, and it seems just like such a heavy, weird marketing campaign. But
really, I haven't seen that at all.
They announced a new feature called "Redeem My Soul."
Well, first thing, let me establish something here. Opera the browser, as far as I know, unless it's changed, became a paid product, right?
It's not a paid product.
Oh, okay.
They have a gaming product, Opera GX, which I believe leverages some privacy for money type situation.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and tell us your story. Tom. I interrupted
So
you.
this new feature is if you don't log into your browser for 14 days, they will delete your browser history and replace it with a clean, wholesome browser history.
All right.
So, in the case that you die, then when someone starts looking through your browser history, all they find is good Christian websites and how to live a wholesome life.
That's assuming you're a Christian, but
I don't think it cares.
So what's scary about this is, wait, you're telling me they can reach into my browser at any time and change stuff?
Yes.
That seems alarming.
Yes, volunteer work, single source chocolate at composting at home are some of the examples of the wholesome browsing you've been doing.
Oh, do you have a link for this?
But,
Please send me a link.
I shared it in there. I grabbed one and put it in there. But when something happens to you, usually your stuff has gone through pretty darn quickly. 2 weeks is a long time at that, if that's the case.
Yeah, it is pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I think
what John is saying is somebody would have probably gotten to your browser within 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see a need for history in general.
John, I think this is. I think I found our next product. So we create a device that attaches to your heart. If it detects that your heart stopped beating, it just deletes your browser history. That's awesome. Let's do it. Pretty sure.
Isn't that just the Apple Watch now?
There you go. We get it. We tie into the Apple Watch API.
You take your watch off, and all of a sudden your history's gone.
Yes. In the distance, sirens.
Oh, man, we joke, but watch this happen now. Like in the next year or two, somebody will say, "Yeah, there's this device you can plant in your chest, and when you die."
Something's got to happen. These Apple events are so useless.
You want to hear something morbid?
Oh, please.
I've never shared this in public, and I've only shared it with. I think I only shared it with the current wife, but I might have shared it with the kids as well. It was a very questionable time in my life as far as like living when I got diagnosed with cancer and started kind of going through chemo. During that time, I planted a bunch of videos on servers that, if I did not turn off the trigger, would email my wife and kids my videos from, so it was like this thing, like I didn't want to have I didn't want to lose an opportunity not to say something to my wife and kids. And there was just, there was so much going on, and I just wanted to make sure that I was able to kind of express some of my feelings to them. Had the incident come where I wouldn't be able to do it in real life. So for probably a couple years, because chemo only lasted for a few months, but it's very touch and go especially for the first couple years after cancer, after chemo treatment. And then you're not really in the quote unquote clear. So my doctor was very, very clear on the fact that he will not say I'm cured, but he would say that you're cleared. And he says that you're not really cleared until after 10 years, but usually by year 5, you're feeling pretty good about things. Anyways, so these things stayed on servers, and some of them were like servers for the company I worked for. I think I had like 3 or 4 servers out there that every 30 days I had to go in and reset the clock. Otherwise, it would have fired. So every 30 days.
So what I find interesting is you're like, you wanted it, you had these so in case you couldn't say it in real life, but you recorded it so you could have said it in real life. Like you could have expressed your feelings to them.
No,
This is a very complicated ad for Tailscale. Yeah. He had to manage these servers, and if only he had known about Tailscale, he could manage them all at once through a single convenient interface.
Yeah. And John, no, it wasn't that easy. It wasn't like, I never told you I loved you and I love you. You know, it wasn't like that. It was...
Well, the twins were like, what, 6 years old at that point? So it was like, hey, look, 6, hey, 7. Look, no, look. Serious time. No, put it down.
So it was it was some deep stuff, and I never shared it with them. I deleted it because, you know, I figured this stuff would come up throughout my life and I would share it then. And then I realized I don't really like my kids, so just said fuck it. I love you too, or 4, or whatever you guys are up to now. I can't keep track. But yeah, it was, and you remember this feeling, John. I remember you mentioning it. It was just like this stress every month or every couple of months when you had to go in and get tested again. I mean, it was a heart condition. It was a little different, but you still had to get tested every so often. And it was like, for me, I think it was every 3 months I had to go in and get blood work done. And like every 3 months, it was just like anxiety leading up to it, anxiety after it. And
oh, for the first couple of years, it was a daily thought, like, oh crap, like what if I'm not here tomorrow? Speaking of, I'm coming up on the anniversary of that, and I have a cardiologist appointment tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm flying tomorrow, so I know how you feel.
It's basically the same thing, Tom. Yes,
just unbearable stress.
So yeah, it was a interesting time, and so I forget, how did we get there? Oh, opera. Yeah. That's how I got there. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes, I went for something humorous. You went for delightfully morbid.
Oh, you know, it's my lot in life.
Well,
we've got some
now. They need a plug-in where you can just click a button and say replace my history now. Like
they do. It's not delete cache.
No, with the wholesome stuff.
Oh, I see what you're saying. There you go.
Like,
there's a service.
Why wait for 14 days? Just I'm good.
I'm going away to college. Let me hit this button on my dad's computer so nobody knows.
Or I'm going on my dad's computer. Let me just hit this button.
Yeah. So what were you saying, Tom? I'm sorry.
Well, we've got some real actual PHP news this week, but we're an hour into it, so I say we just cover the state of the Laravel ecosystem survey. And do some news next week.
Well, do we have anything good? We gotta get your Patreons going. Let me get the Patreons up here. We can talk why that's going. Give us at least one PHP straight on PHP thing here.
I'll cover the quick PHP thing. Is that there's a new RFC to increase the cost for bcrypt.
The cost.
The cost.
There's a parameter. There's a parameter in bcrypt, which isn't the recommended password hashing algorithm right now. Argon 2 ideas, I believe.
Yes.
But anyway, there's a cost so that, and it's configurable based on your machine to say it's going to take this amount of time. It's really like compute resources or whatever.
Right.
And by increasing it, increasing it just makes it take longer. And obviously machines getting faster.
Right. And that's the thing. People might explain why you might want to make it take longer.
So they've got some benchmarks for CPUs a modern virtualized CPU, a cost of 8 would be 0.014 seconds per hash, whereas a cost of 14 would be 0.99 seconds per hash.
Right.
So just modifying that value slows down running hash tables or hash scans against a password file.
So yeah,
it slows down brute force.
Right. If you don't understand security, that's why you would increase that timeout. It seems counterintuitive. It's like, why would I want it to be slower? Because if you make it slower, people who are trying to brute force their way in, it will take them longer to do so.
I never understood why they don't make it super high. Like for a login, taking 1.5 to 5 seconds should be acceptable, except for a few of the applications I've written over the years. No longer, but over the years, every single page was a login. Like you would just slow down your entire application, which would be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the default is currently a hash cost of 10, which was set when the password hashing API was introduced in PHP 5.5 11 years ago. So the RFC here is interesting because it's actually two votable RFCs. One is to increase the cost to 11, and another RFC is to increase the cost to 12. And each of these doubles the amount of time it takes. So a cost of 11 doubles it, while a cost of 12 quadruples it.
I still don't understand the need if that's not the default algorithm anymore.
So bcrypt is still used to calculate a lot of hash stuff, like session codes, and it's not necessarily just password hashes. There are other things that bcrypt is used for, like URL short codes, things like that.
According to Ben Ramsey, I'm not sure it is the default, John, because he says you have to compile specifically for Argon.
Huh. I did not know that. All I know is when I first rewrote the password hashing on this application, I specifically went to bcrypt years ago, and then that never got accepted because, again, login every page would slow down everything. That finally got ripped out, and then by the time I got back to password hashing, we went with Argon 2 ID. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
I'm interested in the JIT stuff, but let's go into your survey, Tom, because I have not even looked at this.
The state of Laravel. The State of Laravel 2023 survey.
Well, it's a survey. I did say
Yes.
survey.
Yes.
Said, gotcha. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Let's open this up. Let's share this. Share. I need to change how I'm doing this share thing. I really don't like the way Restream handles sharing screens, but we'll go with it for now. All right. I haven't even looked at this, to be completely honest with you. How many developers have participated in the survey? Wow. Well,
password default still goes to bcrypt from what I can tell. Just FYI.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing surprising there. What do you want to talk about here, Tom? Wow, location.
Look at the
location. Yeah.
Location was the first thing I saw that really stood out to me, which was Europe and Asia significantly beat out North America. Now, again, I think that this is... No, I guess this one isn't multiple choice, but Europe is 50% of location of developers this year, with Asia at 23% and North America at only 14%.
That's I mean, it's been hovering there for the last 3 years, and for both 50 and for Europe, and 14, 13, 14 for North America.
Yeah. And then down here we've got years of programming experience, which is an increase for people who've been doing it for less than a year. But then a decrease for people who've been doing it 1 to 2 years.
Well, this is one of the things I was talking about as far as I'm very curious to see what this metric would be on other frameworks, because I still think this is something that Laravel has going for the fresh blood that seems to come into the Laravel ecosystem every year.
Right. Like the Fox Pro version of this would be a totally different.
Right.
It'd be one respondent, and we know him.
Yeah. This is.
But years of Laravel experience is interesting. 35% of people have been developing for 5 to 10 years.
I mean, that would be us, Tom, right?
That is us. That is. Well, I'm actually. I think I'm at the 10 plus range now.
I think we would be too. I mean, I can't count myself because I'm not an active developer, but we learned about it back in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that is where things start to get like a little funky to me. Are you publishing or contributing to open source projects or packages?
What's about this?
41% of people who responded to the survey say they are publishing or contributing to open source packages. Which
that seems high.
That seems very high. Like very, very high.
They misread it and they said, "Are you using open source packages?"
I think that actually might be the case.
Or the Laravel people who use Laravel like contributing to open source. That could be the case too. You don't know.
I do, because there are 3 of us in this room, and I think only you have contributed or contribute to open source.
John has.
I do. Not actively all the time, but
that seems like that should be part of the question.
I open a few PRs a year.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tom.
Yeah. Did I do something 10 years ago for open source? Sure.
Yeah, right. That should be more of a, instead of yes, no, how many PRs do you open towards open source a year?
Yeah. Are you a release manager? No, but I tried.
43 respondents named Eric said yes.
A lot of Linux users. What is this?
Primary operating system isn't too surprising. It's 50% Mac, 20 or 30% Windows, and 22% Linux.
You don't think that's surprising? 22%?
No, I'm not too surprised by that. I think
I'm happy to see it, but
I think macOS does coding powerfully enough at this point that Linux is sort of a geeky luxury. And again, this is the Laravel survey.
What? Talking about
primary code editor. I wanted to bring this up just to crush your poor heart. Vim/Emacs gets a 1.6%.
Why are they combined?
They shouldn't even be in the same category, but okay.
Well, if they weren't in the same category, that number would get even lower. So I think this is just to support your ego. But yes, 56%. 56% use PhpStorm, which is awesome to hear.
VS Code dipped a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
When did PhpStorm start advertising with us? Just saying.
That's right. Good observation there, Congdon. Good observation.
What other programming languages do you use? Not too surprising that JavaScript is 87% of respondents.
Well, I mean,
also use JavaScript.
Yeah.
TypeScript and JavaScript are combined.
Yeah, you code for the web, you're going to use JavaScript. So.
Yeah, TypeScript was an interesting 40%.
I love that Perl's still in there.
I love that Dart and Rust and Swift are on here.
Where's Perl?
Third from the bottom.
There's 4 guys that use Perl.
And it hasn't gone up or down.
No, yeah, it's no movement.
It's the same 4 guys every year.
That's how I got started in this web thing. Or was it?
An interesting multiple choice decision here. The multiple choice question of in which context do you work with Laravel, business and hobby? I would love to see this as business or hobby, but they've made it multiple choice. So you can't really get any actual information out of this.
But I mean, it's a fair multiple choice thing, right? A lot of us don't just code professionally.
But you don't get
because we love it.
You don't get the overlap though. You don't see how many people do business and hobby or business or hobby.
It should be business, hobby, or both.
Right.
And choose one.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Team sizes seem to be getting bigger across the board. Team sizes of 1 are down 2.96%, but 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 50, and 50 plus are going up.
See, I'd be very confused on answering this question. If I was 1, do I answer 1 or 1 to 5? It should be 2 to 5. Come on.
It should be 2 to 5.
It's 6
to 10, 11 to 20. Yeah, so we have screwed up.
Well, that invalidates the whole survey.
It does.
Throw everything out.
Now I'm confused.
PHP version stats, again, a multiple choice question with no real indication of where there are overlaps. But it looks like people are keeping up for the most part with the most modern versions of PHP. 4.37% are on 5 still, which is interesting because Laravel does not support that.
Well, it doesn't say running their Laravel app. It's just what versions of PHP are you using for your applications. So
yeah, I was surprised by are you using any front end framework response here? The 88% are using Bootstrap, Tailwind, Razor, etc. But 11% are not using a front end framework. Which I thought was very interesting.
There are those people out there who still do CSS. I mean, it's a thing. It's it's a language you can learn.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back up here though. What are the wow, look at that. Look at the database. So yeah, that's crazy. I so want to get my head around Postgres, but I have yet to see a reason to.
Yeah, I mean,
the article in PHP Architect made me want to try it.
That's what I'm saying. Like every time I see somebody write about it, or I shared like a video or something with you, John, once, right? Saying, this made a lot of sense. Every time I do that, I'm like, man, maybe I should look into Postgres, and then I'm like, nah.
Lewis, I still have PHP 5 applications out there.
That's what I'm saying.
And 7.
Front-end rendering.
Here's a somewhat frustrating question. Monitoring. How do you monitor your production applications?
Tell me, Honey Badger's on here. Where are you at? How far down are you?
It's weirder than that. So do you do error monitoring, uptime monitoring, APM, server metrics, performance profile, or other? And under error monitoring, they have email, Flare, Sentry, Rollbar, Bugsnag, etc. So they don't have Honey Badger, but I'm sorry, email is not an error monitoring methodology. That is not what that does.
If anything, email is the etc. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Email is I do this as a hobby, and if it goes down, I don't notice or care.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, the opinion section of the survey. The Laravel framework is moving in the right direction.
Oh, interesting.
Agree and strongly agree together are 85%. Neutral is 11%, and disagree and disagree strongly are 4%.
I'm curious what the disagree would be. Like, what about the direction?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Okay. What would you say you're a disagree person?
I am a disagree person.
Oh, all right. Why? What about the direction? What direction is it heading first? Like, I don't really know.
Exactly. That's the first question, is what direction is it heading? And it seems like it's heading towards new things that come out in favor of the thing that came out last year. Not really supporting the stuff that it supported very heavily a few years ago.
But it's always done that. I mean, we've always
right, and I've always disagreed that that's the right direction. I think that's the wrong direction. Improve the tool sets that you have and maintain them. Don't just release something new and say, yeah, that other stuff's not cool anymore. I don't like this toy anymore, and throw it away.
I mean, I get it. And this is always one of my caveats as far as recommending it to clients, because it's like the client needs to understand that this is a fast-paced, opinionated framework we're getting involved with. So as long as you understand that going into it, you're okay. And you also have to understand that you're going to have to pay developers to keep up with it. It's not like
updating
we can write
is
this
a
code and
bitch.
Yeah. So, but again, it's always been like it. Always been like that. It's not like they just started doing it recently and everybody's like kind of sideways about it.
The direction it was headed in continues to head in.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think that there are things that they could do, like component driving some things, having component-based updates instead of unilateral updates, so that now we're on 10, now we're on 11, now we're on 12. I've gone over this a million times.
Yeah.
But I will say, the next question, Laravel framework simplifies building web applications. I agree strongly. I am on the side of 100% on this. It does make things easier. Do I enjoy working with it? Absolutely, I enjoy working with it. That doesn't mean I like the direction that it's going, because I think it could be a stronger platform than it is.
Is the direction a new Lamborghini?
Probably. I was just about to highlight that one.
It's gonna be one. It was literally a 1 year difference. It was a 1 year difference between LOL, I would never buy a Lamborghini, to OMG, my wife bought me a Lamborghini. So,
well, I mean, this is cool, I guess. Yeah, it seems to be in this survey kind of shows it. It's just a pretty damn close to the same results year after year.
Well, but so interesting question is the Laravel ecosystem changing or innovating too fast? And agree strongly and agree together are about 52%.
Oh, did I scrolled?
So you agree with the direction that it's going in, but it's going there too fast.
Well, yeah. I mean that. Well, no. So again, the innovation speed is not necessarily a direction, but I find this interesting to see that it's basically 50% of the people agree that it moves too fast, and I think it's a valid. This of everything on here, this is probably the one that Taylor should be taking a closer look at, because you've got to ask, is this speed of innovation costing our developers, people who develop and like developing in Laravel, the ability of introducing it into their business or their company or their workplace because of this issue, which is a real issue.
This was my walkaway point for Laravel, which was being on 7, needing to upgrade to 8, and having that project delayed for so long that 9 came out.
Right.
And that was when I started looking at Symfony and saying, okay, it's just, I get what he's doing, but we're going the wrong direction. We're going too quickly in an arbitrary direction.
And this was what the whole LTS version was supposed to do, but
there was only one of those ever, and it never got maintained.
It was just one.
I think there were 2, right? Weren't there 2? But either way,
4.2.
I think there were 2 LTSs.
I thought something like 6 was supposed to be.
Yeah. I'm going to look it up now. Not just to prove you wrong, Tom, but just
so 5.7 is the LTS version.
Okay, so that's
with the notice that you are browsing documentation for an old version.
5.1 and 5.5 were LTS versions, according to this.
Okay.
Yeah, but to your point, I mean, I feel like the understanding of LTS from Laravel was, okay, well, we're moving on, so don't change your code. You won't be able to take advantage of any new features. And if there's a serious security issue, we'll try to remember to come back and fix this version. And it was like,
so it looks like the most recent LTS was 6, and that was listed in the support policy, but the support policy since then has changed so that 8 is now security fixes only until January next year, and 9 is bug fixes. No, 9 is support only now as well.
Right.
Security support only.
This is, Ramsey says, this is why we have the enterprise ready arguments. Enterprise needs to be able to use something for 10 years without changes.
Right. And, we had our year of enterprise conversations.
Supported changes, right? I mean, that was the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and I still, I mean, my opinion on that hasn't really changed. So we can rehash it if anybody's ever interested in that conversation again, but I don't think we need to do it tonight.
No, we can definitely have the what is enterprise conversation all over again for a whole episode. Right. But for sure, the LTS is really just silently disappearing. That is an enterprise issue. That is not something small.
Right. Exactly. It's like that's anybody who truly works in an enterprise environment knows that that's a requirement. I mean, you're so quickly going to get shot down if you don't have something like that. But there's so many other things that Laravel's missing as well. That's just one of them. But could
you tell me that at the rate that Laravel changes, we're going to keep with active record for the next version?
Well, I mean, it's stuck around this long.
Sure, but like Eloquent 2 could just be announced and it's not active record.
Well, don't start straw manning this. I mean, it's just, like, don't make things up. It's just
I have to talk faster to straw man it.
Yeah, I mean,
but you can't say
it actually touches on the other thing we talk about with the Laravel. There's no community discussion of things.
Yes,
which we say it's Taylor's framework. He's made it very clear that he is the owner of this framework and he'll make whatever changes he sees fit. So, but again,
to the extent that his license plate says Eloquent on his Ferrari,
it says facade.
Oh, it says facade. That's right.
It's the Lamborghini. Why do I know this? God damn it!
Because you have it framed right above your monitor.
One day.
I wasn't supposed to tell people that, was I?
No, I'd appreciate if you didn't. All right. I feel like we've run long. I think we're going to wrap it up. We ended up with a pretty nice turnout. I was worried. waiting to start the show because nobody was showing up, and then everybody showed up later. So I'm happy y'all made it.
Thanks for
That's
hanging out
going to
with
do it
us.
for episode 352. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
I thought you forgot your name for a minute.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They're getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
All right.
Good times.
Good time. So, how long have you been there, Tom?
Since Sunday.
Okay, and you're coming home tomorrow?
Yeah, thank God.
Why?
Oh, I'm tired, and
Yeah.
I miss my dogs and my cats and my wife and my children.
Your wife ended up pretty low on that list, Tom.
I was wondering if he was going to mention her at all.
She's on the list.
But it sounded like you were getting to the end and you're like, oh shit, I better say this.
I've been talking to her every day. It's the dogs I haven't had a chance to really sit down with.
Hey, we get to hang out with Ben in a few weeks.
Was
It's 6 weeks. He's going to be at Longhorn.
I was in his hometown, and he didn't hang out with me. He intentionally avoided me.
That's because I wasn't there.
Grab a beer with the guy or something, but no.
You know, Buttery, I'm actually not missing the home server because I have access to it. I have full access to it from here. So I've been doing stuff on it every night.
Praised on Mastodon by our security guy and 8.3 release manager Eric Mann for introducing him to Tailscale.
Ah.
He is absolutely in love with Tailscale, which makes me feel good. What about you? You haven't gotten on the Tailscale bandwagon yet, Tom?
No, I took a shot at head scale, but what I ended up deciding on was just a straight up VPN. So I'm just VPN'd into my house full time whenever I need to.
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah, it works out. Oh, I've got so much to do.
So Beck, I don't know if you saw Beck mention we were talking about the cancer and like being nervous for all the blood work every couple weeks. She said every cough, like and it's true. Every time I cough or like
Whoa.
You gotta mute, Tom. Feeling a little under the weather or something. It was just like this stressful thing. More stressful for her probably than for me. I felt really bad about that, but yeah, it's crazy thing. Thanks Ben for saying. Thanks for sharing.
Ben was asking when were you in Nashville?
See? See what I mean? I didn't even get a picture with him. I can't even prove that we were in the same room together.
The paper ASMR.
What's paper ASMR? Oh, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who hangs up the do not disturb on a hotel room and just takes it for the whole week without someone coming in and picking up after me.
Yep.
So
So
I've got a lot of cleaning to do tonight.
I'll tell you something that I'm a little ashamed to admit, but I was well into my adulthood. Had stayed in many hotel rooms, some by the hour. No, just kidding. Current wave, that's not true.
Just 10 minutes at a time.
Until I found out, when I found out that you're supposed to be tipping the people who come in and clean your room.
Nope.
Yeah, you are.
Nope.
Yeah, you are. I'm like, it made sense, I guess, but I'm like, wow, I owe like a lot of people money because I have not been tipping.
Nope.
So I take it you don't tip.
Not for a hotel room.
I mean, if they don't come in and clean the room, I mean, I guess it's fine, but
yeah,
I always felt uncomfortable.
I've gone back and forth on
it.
that over the years on tipping or not tipping, but I'm
where do you stand now?
More on the I still don't.
Oh, really? Okay, so I shouldn't have felt so bad.
Everyone, if I have some cash, I'll leave like 5 or 10 on the thing, but I don't do it every time.
No, and it's not like they get paid.
I do
a tip wage. They get paid a full, like a worker's wage.
Oh well, of course. That's why it's a tip. It's extra.
Well, no, tipping is supposed to cover for the employer paying like $4.
Wait, yeah, you're right. For waitresses and waiters and stuff,
yeah. But they don't. The people who work here don't work on a tipped wage.
No. I tip now. I mean, because I was actually
just the tip.
Into it. It's just. Oh, all the kids are on now. That's great. I gotta watch what I say here. No, NorCal. Tom is right. Actually, here in the U.S., tipping was basically you paying their wage. Is how they made money. It was. I read the history on this because it wasn't always like that, and it was like this whole kind of. And there's a whole conspiracy behind it, which might be right or wrong. I don't know, but yes,
I'm not saying they make a livable wage.
Tipping. So are you telling me you tip like? I mean, like if you use like a valet service, you would tip them.
Yeah, because you feel guilty if you don't.
I don't drive a Lamborghini, so I don't have valet services at the tip of my fingers.
I don't want you to scratch my car, so here's some extra money.
That's literally how it works.
Yeah. The tipping industry, the tipping world here in America is just out of hand. Especially the fact that everything is costing so much more.
Well, California doesn't have a tipped wage anymore. Minimum wage is minimum wage. That's what it is.
Right.
But they also just passed a law that says restaurants and hotels can't add on additional fees at random. They can't just start tacking on random stuff. That
was
just
the
passed.
Thing you were doing.
Yeah, that just passed this week. And then last week, I'm very excited about this. New York basically killed Airbnb in New York, which is fantastic.
Buttery, I am going to come to Japan some point. And yes, the tipping culture in Japan is non-existent, which is so I'm curious, Buttery. Does that mean like everybody gets paid a livable wage, or what would be considered a livable wage? That can't be right, because if that's the case, then like a sushi roll is going to cost like $700.
That is not the case. In fact, where they have the highest minimum wage, they actually have cheaper food than America does.
Does not surprise me. Oh. All right, we need titles, people.
There are quite a few submitted. There's some good ones submitted.
Yeah, do not take the first one. Buttery starts off with podcast edging. No, thank you.
What? Oh, what's wrong with people? Man, I'm getting my Nginx configuration. I'm getting really happy with how I have that. I'm using a new Nginx config, and pretty excited. All right, I got bad news, gentlemen.
You never started recording?
None of the titles came in. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they did. Wow, that was weird. Okay. All right, let me yank that here. Tom, you've got to let me show you Venn movements at some point. And I really don't understand.
I don't want to see your movements.
I don't understand your hesitation with the Vim. I think it would be a life-changing experience if you just let me show you a few moves, Tom.
I've seen him. I used Emacs for a fucking 7 years.
Aliens are fake. Ashton Kutcher apologize.
We didn't cover that. We're not covering that.
Oh, we're not? Okay.
Owns a home or owns a home?
Huh?
SoCal Kids said someone owes a home, and I think they meant owns a home.
Oh. Yeah. That would be their...
That reminds me. The person I'm going to have lunch with tomorrow, I went and looked at his Twitter feed, and he had an article that I wanted to read. And I reached back out to him in a message and said, "Hey, have you thought about writing for PHP Magazine?" How did I word it? Hang on, I gotta go read this. I said, "I see you write. Are you interested in writing for PHP Magazine? I am not interested in reading your information about Purge." He goes,
"What?"
He said, "Confused by your last sentence. Was not a typo." I meant to write, "I now want to read this." And I wrote, all right, no, I meant to, "I am now interested in reading it." And I wrote not. And he's just...
My friend's wife uses her Apple Watch when she gets drunk to do texting. And some of the most amazing things have come out of that.
All right. I feel like A Woods wasn't even going to stay up for the show, and I feel like he might have gotten the title here. So I'm down to 3. I'm down to 2. And maybe I'm down to 3. Buttery Bun JS. That was actually suggested by A Woods, which I think is pretty good. This one's a little long. Never tell your kids you love them until after you die. That was Buttery's. see, does this count as insider trading? Bad survey writing? And contributing to the open source Lamborghini. I don't know. That's all I got in. There's aliens or fate, or aliens as fate, aliens, a couple of alien ones. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Weren't that many.
Contributing to the open source Lamborghini.
I feel like we did Lamborghinis already, but yeah,
Probably.
Sure.
I don't know. Something about liking the direction that Laravel is going, but it's going too fast, is just hilarious to me. And I don't have a way of putting that into a title. It just makes me smile.
Let's just go with Buttery Bun. Buttery Buns. Buttery. I don't know.
So I was trying to quickly add a reminder for Saturday to bring a shade tent to my kid's soccer game, and I did it through Siri, and it put down bring shade tits.
There you go. That sounds even better.
Yeah. Nope, did not mean that.
Friend of SoCal. Oh, jeez. You got people who are like a few years apart having an argument. Someone. What? All right. You guys need to go to bed. I don't know. Give me a title or give me something else. Contributing to the open source Lamborghini just seems too long.
Why are they arguing in Discord?
I'm not sure. What should we talk
Warming up some buns.
The Buttery Buns one. Go for it.
Buttery Buns. I like it. Let's go with Buttery Buns.
Buttery Buns.
COVID kid, if you're still able to see and talk, thumbnail around 352 Buttery Buns. And if you want, what was was it bun.sh? Was that it? Bun.sh. The Bun project has a pretty cute little logo at bun.sh. Logo, mascot, whatever you want to call it. If you want to slip that into the thumbnail somewhere. All right. Yeah, Tom, you guys hiring QA people by chance?
QA, I don't know.
I would be interested to find out if you were, if you don't mind.
Why is that?
It needs a job.
John, I need a little extra income. Don't worry about it.
Let's see. Product now, engineering. We're looking for full stack software engineers, data scientists. That appears to be it.
Hand jobs just aren't pulling in the cash they used to, John.
With those hands, I don't believe you. Everyone's freaking out about COVID. That's what it is.
Oh, man. Okay, friend of SoCal kid. It's a friend of SoCal kid is looking for a new gig. So that, and like I said, they are QA trained and certified. I'm making shit up now, just to kind of
What platforms are they familiar with on QA?
all of them, like all of the platforms. I'm pretty sure everyone.
Okay. I'll check tomorrow.
You find out you need something, and then let me know the qualifications, and I'll forward the information.
Yeah, it's always funny because they do these excuse me, these office parties, and I'll just sort of like bump into somebody and be like, "Hey, I'm Tom." Like, "Oh, I'm Bill." Like, "Oh, what do you do here?" He's like, "I'm the head of operations." So, "Oh, hey." Nice to meet you.
It seems like you're important.
Yeah. I'm going to go this direction now. No offense to you. It's apparently a habit I have.
I closed my. Did I close my Trello? Why did I close my Trello? Here we go. Oh. Hot Buns. I'm talking about that. That's what we could have said. Hot Buns. What did we say? Buttery Buns, Hot Buns.
Buttery Buns.
Buttery Buns, Hot Buns. I don't care.
Buttery. I thought it was buttery because of the inside with buttery crumpets.
Yeah, that's good. Good call. I mean, buttery is also hot. Just FYI.
Haven't noticed.
I can tell by his avatar. Boosted to level 3. What's that mean? He boosted to level 3. He boosted us?
Our Discord.
That would be pretty awesome, actually.
Thank you.
I mean, if it happened, I don't have a notification that it happened. Server boost.
Yeah, to level 2 from Wayne Life. Thank you, Wayne.
Thanks, Wayne.
Pumpkin is not a fruit. It's a vegetable in disguise.
You're a fruit. All right, where are we doing here? There you go. Level 3. Just come in our Discord and boost us. Why don't you? That's awesome.
I do not have access to Discord, in case you hadn't noticed.
Why not? You have access to their browser.
Yeah, I don't know my password. I'm like only logged in on one thing.
I don't do with you, man. I don't know what to do with you. Do you not have? Are you still not using a password manager? Or what? What? Do we have to have that conversation again, Tom?
Which one?
Using a password manager.
I can't have anything that's not officially approved on this machine.
You have a phone, right? You can have your password manager on your
phone. And right when I was typing in my password, you were like, "Quit banging on the keys. I can hear it through the microphone."
This guy has an excuse for everything. I swear to God.
So you have a password manager?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. His password manager is a spreadsheet he keeps in his Dropbox.
I am actually, that is one of the services. No, one of the self-hosted services I'm installing next week is a password manager for the entire family.
Yeah. See, what does friend of SoCal Kids say? Why use a password manager when there's block notes? I can one better you. Why use a password manager if all your passwords are the same? Right? Think about it.
You have one password.
Think smarter.
You got one password to remember.
I'm not on Discord. Shit. I'm gonna send this to you through Slack, and you're gonna have to share it.
Your password
on Discord for me.
You switched microphones for some reason.
Yeah, something happened there.
Really?
Yeah. And we can hear your heartbeat
No.
now for some reason.
No, I didn't. That's weird.
Yes. Yeah, we're hearing everything you do right now. So please do not fart.
Too late.
I want to know who Ween is. Have we interacted with Ween before? Ween Life, who are you, mystery man? Have you been in our Discord for a while? Have you been listening to the show? I feel like we need to have like that be a Patreon level or something. You boost the Discord and something. I don't know. All right, let's get the podcast published. I'm a Patreon supporter. Oh, you're all sorts of generous, aren't you? There, you switched back. What are you doing?
Literally nothing.
He's switching shit. He's switching.
I'm literally not.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're not. You still sound bad.
Alrighty.
Put that on.
Discord.
Put that on Discord for me.
Where are you going to lunch tomorrow, Jim?
Yeah, I'm trying to find this thing. Down in Mission Bay. I'm gonna go to. That means I gotta download it. What a pain in the butt.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now, but okay.
He wants me to put a picture of his dog in Discord, or a dog, maybe not his dog.
It was one of the dogs at the puppy playtime.
Puppy playtime. Look at this thing. Is that a dog or is that an Ewok? That guy.
Yeah, we do all sorts of fun stuff to make these on-site things better.
So were these like employee puppies or just like random puppies? You guys just go out in the street and just gather them up and bring them in?
Yeah, San Francisco's wild like that. No, there's a company that does.
You beat me to it.
It's called Puppy Love, and they do like in-office puppy times that pay for fostering and adoption of puppies and other older dogs.
How freaking adorable is that? This is what I talk about whenever I think I should have had other career paths. I could be running a website called Puppy Love.
Be careful on that.
Yeah.
So there you go. Buttery Buns was actually suggested by A Woods, but I feel like it's a win-win in that situation. Both A Woods and Buttery come out on top. So thank you for the title suggestions. Man. I need to take my dog back to the dog park. She is driving me up the wall.
Is she better now?
Yeah, I think she's fine. I'm gonna give her until Monday, but she's definitely like she's walking up the hillside again and wandering off in our backyard. So yeah, she's definitely okay. She always kind of walked weird. Like she always kind of walked very stiff-legged. And she's kind of back to that. So yeah, I think she's fine.
My wife, who usually goes to bed at 9:30, has had to deal with the dogs at night since I've been gone.
That's right.
She is
Current
not
wife.
enjoying it.
Yeah, current wife is going to have to deal with the dog for the time I'm gone in November. Yeah. I think that might be a first for her. I don't think I've been away since we've gotten the dog for any real length of time. I mean, when I have, it's been with her. Like, she came to Tech with me, and she went to Nashville with me. So, you know, it was a doggy babysitting at that point. You guys haven't complained about how loud the music is. Is it good?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fun.
This is higher than I'm at 3%. Normally I have to have it at 2%. I can actually hear it now. Like this at this level, I can hear it.
Didn't you change the level on the source last week?
No, I think I figured out that it was the system sound that was coming to you. I forget what we figured out last week, but no, I haven't changed anything.
Yeah, we leave the day after Halloween, November 1st.
Yeah, November 1st, and then we come back Tuesday. So we're driving through Texas together, Tom, since you didn't probe anymore when John was trying to lead you down that path. But
why would I? Have fun in Texas?
Well, John's gonna get to see his brother.
Hey! Wasn't making that public.
Gonna talk about that? No. All right. Sorry. I'll leave that. Nobody listens to the show anyways.
True. Are you talking to us, Tom? Because you're muted.
Got new ear pods. They're Galaxy Bud 2.
So you fondling your ear pods and like talking.
Yeah. They're pretty nice.
Are you sure? Because they're Bluetooth. Are you sure you like them?
I do like them. My other ones, I got these cheapo ones because they had cheap active noise canceling, and they died halfway through the flight on the way here. Just permanently dead. No fixing it.
So you went out and got those while you were there?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I need to kill the stream. Everybody, I need to start editing the podcast for our European friends who are going to be waking up soon. I need to get that done. So thanks for hanging out with us. Been fun. Bye.
Bye.